back in the koi house, and as you can see there is a tub in the background. What is that? Well, let me flip you around and I'll let you know. So on the last episode I said to you that I was thinking about having a little trickle tower. Well, there it is, and very simple guys. It's just leftovers I've got. This actually was a part of a bin. This was the internal side of a bin. So if I just pop this out there like that, that just sits on there, and then the water's just going to run out the moving bed, and then it's going to run into this, and it's as simple as a bucket, a large plastic bucket which sits perfectly into this, a bulkhead at the bottom, and then inside I've literally cut a bit of grid, and that will just sit on top of the hole. Wow, sorry about this, I'm trying to do everything. That will literally hook in there and just sits on there like that. So it's like that, and then this literally does sit in, and because of this lip it literally sits perfectly on that diameter. So I'll see if I can do it with one hand without breaking my neck or tools. So there's that. So hopefully I can get some media, put in a bag. I'll put it in a bag and it will sit in there, and it'll probably be something like the Canterbury flint that will sit in there, 25 kilo sack. Then that literally sits absolutely perfect in there, just like that. And the water just going to pour in the top, hit that, and hopefully disperse. And then in there, what I'm thinking of doing is literally dividing this plant, because that actually sits perfectly in that pot, but I've got to get the pipe into the top, and that will just wick some water up and take some nutrients out of the pond, hopefully. That's the idea anyway. Or failing that big plant, I might get some smaller plants or one plant and just have it sticking out the top, some sort of hopefully aquatic evergreeny type thing. And this is actually the answer to that, because this is literally grown in winter. Look at that. Well, actually I bought it in, it's been in there. So yeah, that's that. Or just have some other media in the top. I could actually split some media out of this, put some bare media in there and then some in there, so that will grow and colonise and get going again. So that's it. And what I've literally been doing is I'm in between cleaning the filter out. So I'm just going to hose that down, get that filled back up, and then I will literally turn this on as you guys are watching. But it's not, it's just a inline filter, trickle filter, absolutely nothing to it. I could just pour media in and stack it up inside to maximise the area inside, and I have actually got some media I might use in some sacks up there. In fact, let me show you. I have actually got, and this was out of the this stuff is not perlite, pumice stone. This is pumice stone. So I've actually got, when I sold horticultural supplies, we actually sold pumice stone, and I've got absolutely loads left, because this plant filter, this here, this was full of it, completely full, whereas it was a pain in the backside to clean, obviously. So I emptied it all out, cleaned this out, and then I've got plants in tubs now, the same amount of plants. Obviously it's not as effective because there's not as much media in there, but this is actually the pumice stone, and underneath it looks, oops, there's the pumice stone, and it's quite lightweight. So and most of it, once it's got some water to it, it sinks. And I've still actually got a couple of bags of it there, so I could put that in, but I don't think I will. I think I might just get some, I don't know, some media offline. Like I said, I want to try and balance the KH, so it makes sense to me to use it as somewhere where I can do that. And apparently Canterbury Spa gravel, it's like a calcified flint, is meant to be really good at doing that. It's very old school. It's very old school. It's been about for years. So like I said, I was thinking of putting that in there, so hopefully that balances out the KH and pH, and then the overall, something to reduce nitrates. That's the idea anyway. I'm going to clean this out, come back, and then turn this all on, and while it's all turning on, I will we'll watch it, see what it does. There's the fish, don't often get to see these. There's the tancho, goshki, the snow-asagi, and the, oh, I can't remember what Japanese, kajaku, can't remember what the breeder is. And then a Ginring Koaku, that I got that one off the guy that had this, and he bought it from Kwenikoi. I don't know the breeder though, but it will be a Japanese breeder, no doubt, because they don't sell anything else there apart from that. So yeah, fish are enjoying me about. Feeders now on this side, and there's the controller for it. So your brain's always ticking over, isn't it? Always ticking over. So I'll be back. So we're back up and running. Just waiting for everything to fill now. Top's back on, covers back on. Easy pod's full of water. Balance the valves back up. Topping the pond back off. Seachem safe in. Oh, it sounds like water going in. Is it? Yeah. So let's see what. So that's it. Sorted. Now, I don't know what sort of, I might have to change the top on that, the actual outlet, and put, have it come in, another one in there that I can twist around maybe. So maybe, oh, bloody thing. So maybe a lot more splashing than I thought. I suppose because there's no media in there to stop the splash. Nothing to buffer it. Oh, this bloody thing. Power's gone. So there's the outlet, getting the same flow. I could put a branch on or something like that and have a play about with it, I suppose, so it's the sides. I don't know whether that would have a difference. There you go, that's with that on. So that would be better because you could have it more centralised maybe. I could maybe stick a bend on the bottom. You know. Well, that's stopping the splash, it's not as direct down. So, oops. Big thing. Looks like there's quite a lot of room through there as well. Flow through. So that is it. I wonder what would happen if I put the better float at the back. Flows that way then, look. So this is where the playing about comes into it. It'd probably make sense if it was hitting the sides. I don't know. So there we have it. And then like I say, there's holes there. So that will evenly drop the holes, drop the water through and onto the media below. Well, there's nothing more to say on that one. Apart from, shall we end it with a bit of koi food. Look at them, they soon get active. I better not go over the top because when I moved that, a bit of food dropped out earlier, so fish are straight up. So you see that sort of activity with your own fish, spot on. If you don't see that type of activity and one fish is just slowly swimming around, you know, or still, alarm bells, guys. Check your fish, check that fish. That's really alarm bells. You live and learn, and you soon pick up with this what is good behaviour, normal behaviour, and what's abnormal behaviour. If you watch your fish, observe. I don't know why, but that sounds a lot noisier. It's strange. Before it was just a straight pipe, as you saw, where it just sounds like there's a lot more flow through it now, but it's all balanced up the same. How odd. I wonder if it's because I've put it's an angle at the bottom, so it increases velocity. That makes sense. There's a, I don't know, it's strange. Saying that, I think I made sure this was on 60. This is at 60% now. I think it's running at 55. I've gone 60%. So that's probably why that extra few percent just gives it a bit more oomph. Well, I'm happy with that. Again, I know the woodwork's a bit rough, not very good, but it saved me having a massive tank or anything like that. It's quite steady on there. We get this running probably once the temperatures stabilise, once the outside temperature stabilise, there's no risk of that happening. What happened a couple of weeks ago where it really dropped, because that was an incredible demand on this greenhouse. and it did drop this water temperature below 10, hence I stopped feeding. So until that risk is gone, the feeder's not going to get full. I'm just going to hand feed them, and as soon as it's comfortably around 12 and increasing, I'll get that on, get it to set to 1 feed a day, then 2 a day, 3 a day, 4 a day, and grow it, and then hopefully everything will kick start and off it goes. Look at this still going. Get a muck out of that. So I think I'm going to split this now, and just for a bit of a laugh, split a piece off, chuck it in the top of there, and just leave that, see if it has any play on nitrites. I could actually plant it in some of that ceramic, the pumice stone. I could fill that with pumice stone at the bottom, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I'm not going to rush into it. So here we go. Doesn't look too much of an eyesore either. So what do you think? Comments down below. What would you put in there? What would you fill that with? So just to conclude, we've got Easy Pod, Micro K1 obviously in the Easy Pod, the malt collects on the outer, goes through the Micro K1, down that pipe there, comes out there, pumps back into the return through the spray bar, goes up into the moving bed, comes out the moving bed and into there, and that technically every pond, this is the tip for this one guys, take this away and think about it, every pond should complete the nitrification process, and the end of the process is nitrate. So think about what you're doing to get rid of the nitrate, because nitrate in ponds, high nitrate in ponds 50 and above is not good. So let's, I'll tell you what, while I'm here, there you go, that's handy. That's on nitrate. So you really want your nitrate to be around here, 10, 20. Getting up here, I have actually had it up here, 80 and above. I've had it up here where it's dark, quite dark red. And my fish become listless, and they started developing a few marks on them. That's when they was in the 500 litre. Because the nitrate build up, there's no way for it to go, only from water changes. Okay, so once it starts building up, you've got to get rid of it either by water changes or plants. In nature, plants feed off nitrate, so they end the nitrification process. Ammonia, nitrite, nitrate. Bugs, biological media, they get rid of the ammonia and nitrite, but there's nothing that gets rid of nitrate. So don't let it build up in your pond. It is important. And the offset of nitrate is also phosphates. If you've got high phosphates, high nitrates, chances are you'll have ugly algae and pond problems because the balance is upset. So how are you balancing it out? Nitrates. Think about it guys. What do you do? On the main pond there is that massive plant filter, and that is absolutely spot on. When that kicks in, it's always around this area. And I never have any problems with algae in that one. Sometimes blanket weed sometimes kicks off early in the season, but I get some blanket weed answer in there, or no more blanket weed it's called, and use that to keep it in check. So there you go, but the chances are you're meant to have, to end that nitrification process, 30% of your surface area is meant to be covered in plants, and that would end your nitrification process and remove your nitrates. So obviously having one plant in there is probably going to be a complete waste of time. One plant is not covering 30% of this pond. So divide that by 3. If I could have that full of plants, that would be enough to remove the nitrate in the pond. If it's smaller than that, it's not going to completely coat, but it's going to help. So obviously one plant's not going to do a lot, really. So I'm probably better off you know, filling it with media in sacks, in a sack. Have one sack and a sack above it. What would you do? Let me know. What would you do? What media would you have in there? What would you do with it? What do you think? Put a thumbs up if you've liked. Put a thumbs down if you've not liked. Hit the like button if you haven't liked. And I've just said that. If you're already a subscriber, thanks for subscription. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe bell button. Hit the notification bell. Happy days. Been absolutely lovely in here this afternoon, really buoyant. Plants coming on here, absolutely gorgeous, one of my favourite smells. Oh, citrus, beautiful. So on that note, thanks for watching, see you on the next one.